Hi guys, and welcome back to Ringside Recap. I am your host, Ninja the Ninja, and let's get started with a brand new week of wrestling at the flagship show, Monday Night Raw. So guys, we are freshly off Elimination Chamber, and after me sitting down and thinking about it, it was a pretty good show. I really wish it lasted a little bit longer. Instead of having just basically 4 matches, I wish I had a little bit more. But going back, I saw that the men's and the women's chamber match was an hour long each, and then the other filler hour was just the other 2 matches. So I kind of wish it was a little bit longer. Wish we had a little bit more. Well, not a little bit longer, but I wish we had more matches. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of felt kind of fast. And hopefully we get to see more about this Frankenstein vampire man guy. I saw on my social media that a lot of people really did not like him. They didn't really seem to really get with him, except for people who already knew him, because originally he was from AEW. So people say he's a good wrestler, but I can tell what the fans at Elimination Chamber, they was not rocking with it. They did not care for that. He didn't really have a pop or anything. But we'll see. Since people say he is a good wrestler, I'm hoping that he will kind of be like a Penta. Like, he's just there to like hype up the crowd when it's needed, but he's still a good wrestler behind the scenes. So we'll see. And hopefully we will get whatever the remaining matches for WrestleMania within the month. But I don't know if it's just me, but won't there always another little like mini pay-per-view before WrestleMania? I know that WrestleMania is gonna be like early April, so that's probably why they're not doing one. But I just always feel like there was like a mini pay-per-view or some type of thing. Maybe they're gonna do like a Saturday night match thing like they do sometimes to make that up. But I don't know. But anyway, after all that, let's get started with the show. So guys, Monday night opens up with The Vision once again coming out to the ring. Hall of Famer Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory comes out to once again try to hold the show hostage because they're mad at the masked mystery men that cost Logan Paul a chance to win the chamber. So he goes on and says that the masked man, who ended up turning to be Seth Rollins, was like stealing everything that the Vision was about, or like claiming that he was the creator. Paul claims that Steph has been nothing but just a pain to them. Then GM Adam Pearce came out and tried to stop the Vision from holding the show hostage. And basically, he was like, look, Steph was not even medically cleared to even be performing or wrestling. So I'll deal with him later so y'all can leave, right? So then all these masked men came out from all different corners, and Logan Paul chased one, Austin Theory chased one, and then there was one in front of Paul, and then slowly from behind Paul, another masked man that turned out to be Seth Rollins came out and hit Paul with a chair. Now, I don't know how old Paul is, but he can surely still take bumps. But anyway, Seth Rollins ended up curb stomping Paul Heyman in the ring, and the fans were crazy. So I'm assuming that Steph is now a face again. So yeah, we'll see what happens next. So y'all, we have a quick little segment of Paul Heyman getting into the ambulance, and his face is bloodied from Seth Rollins curb stomping him. So then Austin Theory and Logan Paul gets into the ambulance is like, "What's going on? You need to help him. Stop the bleeding!" And yeah. So they're going off, and then Austin tells Logan to go get the car. So Logan go gets the car. Austin in theory is still going off, but so he hops out of the ambulance because he heard the car. And he thought it was Logan, but it turned out to be Jimmy Uso. Ended up tossing Austin around, and then Jimmy walks up to the ambulance truck, and then in the ambulance truck, the driver was LA Knight. So LA Knight ended up driving off Paul Heyman somewhere. So I guess we're going to see at the end of the night where Paul Heyman actually is going to end up with LA Knight. So the first match of the night was Gunther versus Dragon Lee. Now, I'm not sure if y'all was listening to SmackDown a couple weeks ago before the Chamber, but Dragon Lee ended up causing Gunther a chance to get inside the Chamber. So this is kind of just a little match that they came up together for them to go against each other. And the winner of that match, of course, was Gunther. Now, before the match even started, Dragon Lee tried to get the up on Gunther and jump him, but that didn't work, and he still ended up losing the match. And then at the end of the match, Gunther ended up taking off Dragon Lee's mask to force him to tap out. And after the match, we had a quick little segment with the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kari. You know, Asuka's fussing at Kari because she lost at the chamber, or she lost at the chamber, and Kari was supposed to be in the chamber with her. So then she's fussing at Kari, and then Asuka walks off, and then AJ Lee comes around the corner trying to consult Kari, but that didn't work. And you know, if y'all seen Asuka, she screams at Kari to come to her, basically. So I don't know. So, y'all, we have a little segment of AJ Lee basically acknowledging the fans of her first ever Intercontinental Championship reign. So, she just goes on to say how she beat Becky, and you know, how she's so happy that the fans believed in her and gave her the confidence because, you know, she hasn't been in the ring in 12 years and haven't hold a championship in 12 years, or vice versa. She was just going around giving her thanks. And then she pointed to WrestleMania, saying that she's not going to wait to WrestleMania to defend her championship. She wants to be a fighting champion just like her husband, CM Punk. So she basically is going to do probably a Intercontinental Open Challenge, basically how Carmelo Hayes is doing too. Just open championship shots to anyone who really wants it. So I guess we're going to see that probably next week or Friday. I'm pretty sure next week, but we'll see what that's going to be like. And then they cut off to an earlier segment of the day of Penta talking to the original El Grande Americano, basically telling Penta, you know, good luck on your Intercontinental Championship shot tonight, because I'm going to take that from you once you win it. So Penta said his iconic zero fear catchphrase that he always do. And then as Penta walked away, the other El Grande Americano in the original El Grande Americano, I'm getting confused between the two. They basically had a back and forth talk about, you know, coming March, I think he said 14th, them two are probably going to have a match against each other. But tonight, the original El Grande Americano wants to go against Los Americano, the little tag team that's running around with the other El Grande match tonight. So we're going to see that in a few. So before the match starts, we get a little sneak peek of Liv Morgan basically talking to the women's champion Stephanie Valkyr, basically telling her like it's not my fault that you didn't get a chance to be trained by WWE's best trainers and I did, and you were fighting in all around the world and like roach infested rings and stuff. Basically, her coming after Stephanie from her in that interview that she had with Michael Cole a couple weeks ago, and her hitting Stephanie with the mic in her head. Really nothing special, just hyping up their match for WrestleMania. So then we actually have the match between El Grande Americano and one of the Los Americanos. I can't tell you which one is which. I don't really care to know which one is which. But that match ended up being a good match. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. Of course, the other El Grande Americano and the other Los Americano intervened with the match, but the original Los Americano still ended up getting the win on the match. So we have another little quick Judgment Day segment, basically Liv encouraging Raquel to go for AJ Lee's Women's Intercontinental Championship challenge. And then we have Dom trying to encourage JD McDonough and Finn Balor to come out and help him win his match against Penta later on tonight. And Finn basically said the same thing he said last week and was like, no, you gotta do this yourself. But then Dominic was like, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like you help me celebrate when I win against my match with Penta. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. So then they was like, oh, you got me? They all agreed, like, yeah, we got each other because we're all family. So we're going to see within the next couple of weeks. The Judgment Day is probably going to break up at WrestleMania. I'm calling it. So now Russo comes out from around the crowd and basically tells Obafemi to come out and challenge him to a match. So then Obafemi comes out, but he doesn't come out in his match attire. He comes out in a shirt, dress pants, and dress shoes. So don't ask me why he done this, but I don't know. But Obafemi came out and told Russo to basically come on. So them two basically just had like a scrimmage. It didn't really lead them to nowhere. And Obafemi ended up slamming Rusev into the ring, and then Rusev ran away. Nothing too exciting here. And then we cut to Bailey and Lyra Valkyrie basically encouraging each other to go to GM Adam Pearce's office to challenge AJ Lee for an Intercontinental Championship. And as they were walking to the office, they get stopped by Io Sky. So Io Sky looked up and down Bailey and Lyra, so there might be some type of match between them going on between the next couple weeks, I'm pretty sure. So now we have a match with half of the tag team champions, Jimmy Uso, going against the Vision's Austin Theory. In this match, it was okay. I'm gonna give it another 6 out of 10. It wasn't nothing too really exciting about the actual match until the end, when Logan Paul came out and basically jumped Jimmy, and then Jay ended up coming back and helping his brother Jimmy, and them two basically stopped the Vision from going after them. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be probably a championship match for the tag team champions later on. If not, probably WrestleMania. But nothing too exciting there. And then it cuts to the Judgment Day again. So then it cuts to GM Adam Pearce on the phone with Nick Aldis, believing they're talking about Dunn Hansen, the vampire man that we saw at Elimination Chamber. It cuts to him, and basically Dunhausen giving Adam Pearce a list of commands of what he so-called needs. So then the Judgment Day end up walking past them And Adam Pearce just throws him at Dunhausen because he doesn't want to deal with him. So Dunhausen basically just, talking, making fun of the Judgment Day. And then he peeps at Dominic's championship. He's like, oh, I want this. Then Dunhausen was like, well, you've been cursed. So he didn't give me the championship. So I guess we'll see what that means, that he cursed him. So who knows. Next, we had a little segment with Jackie, with Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Basically, Jackie asked them, congratulations to Rhea, and basically what is next between them two. And Rhea is like, Io, you hold down Raw while I go to Smack so I can beat Jade Cargill and be the champion over there at SmackDown. So them two as tag team partners are now over. They broke up in a nice way, which is good. So the next match of the night was for the men's Intercontinental Championship, was Penta and Dominic. And this match was a good match. I think this is definitely the match of the night. Them two put on a great match. I will definitely give it I'll say 8 out of 10. It's really good. Penta ended up getting the win, and he is now the new men's Intercontinental Championship. Now he's the new men's Intercontinental Champion, which I was kind of surprised because I would have think that he will have more of a bigger role if he won it at Mania. But anyway, so now Penta is the new men's Intercontinental Champion, and Dominic did tell Finn and JD to intervene. He told JD to go get a hammer, but Finn stopped him. So that group is definitely going to break up. Well, if the group doesn't break up, Finn is definitely going to leave that group. So yeah, I think it's time for them to break up. I think I say this all the time. I think I say this all the time that I think they need to break up, but I think it's really time. I think WrestleMania is going to be the time that they actually break up. So we'll see. So y'all, the last moment of the night was Roman Reigns giving a promo out to the world. But before even Roman can even say any words, CM Punk comes out and basically just tells Roman off. I mean, this was a great promo. So good. I don't think even me describing it is going to do it any justice. Then y'all rather should go watch a clip. I'm pretty sure they're going to clip this whole thing somewhere on probably like Instagram or TikTok. But basically just them hyping up this match. And, there's a lot of key points of how CM Punk basically brought in Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins into Indianapolis, where they're at now. And then Roman corrected them and said, actually, you brought only the two. You didn't have me. You only wanted the other two. And CM Punk was like, you're right. I only wanted the other two. But then you only wanted me. So you wanted to get rid of me. But you couldn't get rid of me. And now you're alone. You don't have Paul Heyman. You don't have your cousins, the Usos. You don't have anybody. And you will not have anyone behind you at WrestleMania. It would just be me and you. And it was just a great back and forth. Then at the end of the whole conversation, CM Punk told Roman Reigns that I'm going to bury you. Because Roman told him earlier that I'm going to retire you. So Punk says, okay, you're going to retire me? I'm going to bury you. And I'm going to bury you next to your father. Which Roman's father passed away maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. That had my jaw on the floor. And then Punk just walks off. And that was the end of the show. So this show, It was okay. It was all right. I won't say it was the best show, especially after a pay-per-view, but I could say the match of the night again was Penta versus Dominic. So they took the whole show for me. That was probably the only good thing about the show for me. I cannot wait to see what is going to happen on SmackDown. To see Jade is going to say to Rhea, 'cause you know Jade is going to run her mouth, and they're going to have their hype up promo, I'm pretty sure, on Friday. So, guys, this is the end of the show. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening. I see the views y'all are giving. Even if it's just a little bit of views, it really does mean a lot. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, and just, get me out there. And also, if y'all like anime, I have an anime channel as well. It's Ninjas and Ninjas Anime Podcast. Make sure y'all check that out too if you're interested, or you know anyone that will like it. Make sure you like and subscribe over there too. And after that, make sure y'all love one another, be blessed, and mental health matters.